You're doing everything you can to go viral on TikTok, but nothing seems to work. Well, today I'm going to be highlighting 5 tips and tricks for posting and editing the best possible TikTok to actually ensure that you achieve success. If you guys want to know how to actually edit a TikTok from beginning to end, make sure to go check out the link at the top of the description. I'll have a tutorial there. But with all that out the way, sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. So quickly, before I actually get inside of the software and show you guys the tips and tricks in this video, I just want to quickly mention that all the tips and tricks aren't really specific to the editing software. So you could literally incorporate them into any sort of software that you're editing a TikTok in. But I'm going to be giving you guys the opportunity to let me know what you actually edit your TikToks in the description, and I'm going to be posting some tutorials for you guys on those softwares that I see a lot of people commenting about. So represent your software, put it down below in the comments, and I'll hopefully be making a tutorial on it in the next couple weeks. But right back to the video. All right, guys, so I feel like the best software to actually showcase for you guys today, just on a beginner level, if you guys are brand new to editing, I'm actually going to be using DaVinci Resolve 18. You guys know this is my favorite software to show people in a tutorial how to use, just because it's so beginner friendly. You can literally download it and start using it and learn how to use it within like a couple days, and it's completely free to download, which is awesome. I'm gonna have a link to that in the description as well. Go check that out, and we're gonna wait for this to load up. From there, what you need to do is just open a brand new project, and we're actually just going to label it TikTok tips and tricks or something like that, and from there I'll just create it. And once you've actually initialized this project, you need to actually configure the settings to the TikTok resolution. So for example, my basic TikTok settings are 60 FPS right here, then we change this to vertical resolution, which DaVinci Resolve offers, which is great, and that's pretty much it done right there. So I'm going to show you guys example footage of what my TikToks actually look like before I post them. So if I literally come here, I have a piece of footage right here. I'm going to press don't change on the frame rate. So what I'm going to do is just drag it in the timeline, and we'll go from there. All right, so we can see I got my footage in the timeline here. This is what my TikTok looks like. It's just standard vertical me recording. I do this by rotating my camera sideways. That's why you can see the footage itself is sideways. I just had to rotate it, but it could be different for you guys. So the number one tip, obviously when you have a TikTok, you got to cut it up. So first step that I do is I always cut out the dead space. This can be done by using the blade tool by pressing B and clicking between like each individual sentence right here. So I'm going to get this cut up, and I'll see you guys after I've done that. All right, so for example, this is what the TikTok looks like. This would just be if we have like a short little 15-second TikTok type of thing, and we can see that it's all cut up. It looks good to go, but we can see, and I need your help. We can see that there's like slight pauses in between the video here, and that brings me to tip number 1, which is actually overlaying your footage, which is called a J-cut, just because that's what it looks like when it's actually inside of the project. It's called a J-cut, which actually allows you to start your audio a bit earlier and kind of overlap the 2 clips. So what I mean by this is we would take this clip right here, drag it up a layer, and then we would literally shift it like this, and we would delay the start of the video. So we could see it's kind of like a J, like we can see that there's like that almost J shape. It would be more exaggerated if we had it like that, but it would look like this. You can see that that's just how you do a J cut, and I literally do that throughout every single piece of footage here, and I will just literally drag that down there. I guess that's an L cut. That's not really the same thing, but you know what I mean. And I'll just do something like this, and I'll literally do this for the entire project. So for example, that one, cut it down, I'll do a J cut on that. That's not such an exaggerated one, but we literally do that throughout the entire project, and that should be it pretty much. It's super simple once you actually understand the premise. So literally all you're gonna want to do is do that for your entire project. That's my tip number 1, because the number 1 common mistake I see is people cut up their footage nicely. It's just they don't overlay it or incorporate J-cuts into their TikToks, and it just makes the flow off and awkward, and it doesn't flow, and that's gonna lead to people being not as engaged as they should be in your TikToks. If you're making great content, this can definitely take away from it. So yeah, that's tip number 1. And my second tip is literally stock footage is your best friend. When I say this, please take my word on it. It is going to be your best friend for TikToks. So for example, we can see I'm talking about right here, I'm building my dream gaming setup, and I'm just going to add a marker to where I say dream gaming setup, because this is going to be super important, and it's going to allow for us to have a easier time when it comes to actually adding in our footage. So we can see if we were literally just to have this as our TikTok, where I just say, oh, this is my dream gaming setup, and you're just staring at a picture of me, chances are someone's going to get before. So all we gotta do is we can literally go over to a website like Pexels, and we can go to the videos section right here, search up gaming setup, and literally just like that, I can download some footage just like this, save it to wherever, locate it in my file thing, drag it into my DaVinci Resolve, and literally just like that, look at how fast I added in stock footage there. And it adds something to the video. It makes it better. It could take it to the next level. And literally, this is something that I do throughout my entire video. I'm always adding different parts of stock footage throughout my entire video. I make sure that the viewer always has something different to look at. It's switching up. There's lots of variation. And that's something that's super important on TikTok, because if someone isn't engaged for like 0.5 seconds, they're clicking off of the video. And that could be the downfall of your content. So make sure that you're incorporating these tips. You never could do too much on a TikTok. And yeah, that is tip number 2, which is stock footage is your best friend. So my third tip is going to be subtitling every single word. This isn't completely necessary, and there's different ways that you can do this. For example, you can subtitle every 2 words, every 3 words, sentences, so on and so forth. But for me personally, I feel like every word is just like bang, 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 bang in terms of the animations. And it's just, you know, it's so much for the viewer to focus on. And that means that they always have something to look at, which is the number one most important thing about short form content. You want to make sure that they're watching, you know, 120% of the video. They're rewatching it twice just because they missed something because they were watching something else. That is what you're going for here. And literally it comes down to subtitling almost every single time. So we can see it goes and I'm just going to subtitle every single word. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. So we can see, for example, we can see that there are different markers here for each word that I'm saying. And I'm going to show you a quick example of how I do this. I'll drag on a text layer, and this can be done in any software. Like I said, you just need to bring up a subtitle layer. I'm going to type in whatever, which is the beginning word, and I'm going to use a font. You can use something like Mont. Poppins is good as well. I have a subtitle tutorial if you want to go watch that where I go in depth, but I like this Jaya Granshan type of font, and I'm just going to be using the settings 3, -5 for drop shadow. Again, if you want to know drop shadow settings and subtitle settings, go watch my tutorial separately, but I'm just going to be showing you the main premise. I'm going to cut the layer on every single marker that we've added. Building my dream gaming setup. And we'll just do that. That's good enough for now. And we can see that's literally how you do it. It's pretty simple. Just add a subtitle to every single word, please. It'll make such a big difference. I started doing it to my TikToks, and like right after that, I had a 7 mil TikTok, a 1.9 mil TikTok. I had one that was like 5 mil. It's crazy the difference that it can make. But that's actually gonna bring me to my 4th tip, which is adding subtitle animations and transitions. These are definitely gonna be your best friend in terms of actually grabbing and captivating that viewer that is watching your video. So to do this, I'm actually gonna right click on each of these text layers and click on where it says new compound, and this can be done in Adobe Premiere Pro, nesting a clip, or even adding a, you know, pre-comp in After Effects. That's pretty much how you do that. But I'm going to be quickly showing you how you actually can make the best animation in literally 2 seconds. So you're going to click on your subtitle layer, go into the Fusion tab on DaVinci. Then we're going to bring up transform, press enter, and then at the beginning, we're actually going to bring down pivot first, so it's in the middle of the word. We're going to type in 0.8, make sure we're keyframing it, come to like a frame in the middle, press 1, type 1, we're going to type 1 again, and then right here at the very end, we're going to type 0.8. And then we're going to go into our spline, click on transform, bring this up, press this little viewer thing, and do something like flat, just kind of copy this graph. It's like a little bit of a bounce, but it will go back down. Anyways, all you got to do for that is literally take the transform, press Control C on your keyboard, go into the edit tab, go to the next one, paste it in, but then we're going to go to keyframes here. We're going to enlarge it, bring this down, and then we're just going to drag that out and rescale it. And we can literally do this for every single one. We go in here, paste, keyframes, press this arrow thing to be in our view, the exact same length. And we can see that we have that same animation going on every single word here. And this one might be, oh, it's perfect length actually. And then this one, back, paste, keyframes, this one's too short. Bring that one over, and boom, that's pretty much how you do that. And we can see I haven't added it to this one, but I'm just gonna get rid of that. I'm building my dream gaming But we can see that subtitle looks amazing, and I've showed it how to do that in After Effects, so go watch my After Effects tutorial if you want to do that. I'll be making a Premiere Pro tutorial soon, so stay tuned for that. Now onto the actual transitions. I have this compound clip. You don't need to, but anyways, I'm just gonna go inside of it. Transitions are super important. I have a transition pack. I'll just have that in the description. I'm gonna add a marker to wherever I want to add that transition. You should do this on as many different places in your video as you can. So for example, transitioning into the stock footage here, I'm gonna drag in an adjustment clip, go inside of it, and then I'm gonna find like one of my random presets that I have here, and I'm just going to go into my transition pack, which again is in the description. Drag in any one of these that you should be able to download for 100% free for DaVinci. Connect that, keyframes right here, and then we're gonna enlarge in it just like this, and then we're just gonna drag this little thing with the keyframes, enlarging it again. We can see it's off to the left, and we want to line up that third keyframe right here, the playback head. We're gonna go out, place a marker on it, line up that marker. My dream gaming setup. See, boom, just like that, we've added our transitions, all that stuff, and we are good to go with our subtitle animations and transitions. My last tip is super basic. It's to add the beat drop of your audio or the peak of it at the end of your hook. So we can see I'm building my dream gaming setup and I need your help. I'm gonna add a marker to that point. I'm gonna go find whatever song I'm going to be using. So for example, let's say I'm using some sort of beat. So I'm using like this main thing right here. See that this main beat drop is right here. I'm literally just gonna line that up, the marker that we've added. So the end of the hook is the beat drop, and then we're just gonna turn the volume down of our sound. I'm building my dream gaming setup and I need your help. I'm trying to put perfect, and that should be good to go. But if you guys enjoy, you learned something, like, comment, subscribe, go check out the tutorials in the description as well as the transition pack.